Hey, we're gonna try another medium question that's related to palindromes. Hopefully I can redeem myself this time around. So this one is called palindromic substrings. It falls under what do you call it? Dynamic programming again, but I'm gonna try on like a two-pointer approach. Maybe that would be different. So we do only need to keep. So let's read the problem a little bit. So palindromic substrings. Given a string S, return the number of substrings within S that are palindromes. So in this case, it would be ABC, A. So it's like that A, and then this, and then the second A, and then the third A, and then this A right here, this A right here, and then this whole A. Yep. So I'm thinking we might need to keep track of, what do you call it? Okay, let's think here. If we're following the same pattern that we did before, fortunately we don't need to return like the palindromes themselves. So we can just use like res, which is like the count, and for I in range len s, we're basically gonna do the same approach that we did before and treat this middle index as a palindrome, and then as a center of the palindrome. And we're gonna use like a condition here. We're gonna define LR as I and I, while L greater than R, while L is, and just like expand outwards and see the palindrome. And like if we do find a palindrome, we'll add on to it. If not, so be it. I'm thinking here, because that's to find the longest palindrome, right? We want to check whether or not it's a palindrome. So how do we do that? So say we're at A, or okay, I think this is a better example. So we're at the middle, okay? A. How do we get like AA? How do we get AAA? So you would check A first. Okay, and then we expand outwards. If it is, we keep going, basically. Okay, we add count every time we move the pointers, basically. And we also need to keep track of the even scenario, like if the palindrome has if the palindrome length is even versus if it's odd. So I think having a counter variable that we increment whenever necessary is good. So while L is greater than 0, and R is less than length S. Actually, it might be better if I move this lower just for better clarity. And SL is equal to SR. Count plus equals 1. And we expand. Yep. And we basically just get this, and we just copy it down, except this time we change that. This would be even. Maybe I can even just use res. Just reuse res. I think this is good enough. Okay, I got close. So I got 9 here. So why is that? Print res SL R plus 1. I want to see what is counted here. Don't let me actually, I should move this down. Okay, so 1 is A. Why did this increment it even though it didn't return anything? This shouldn't happen. Wait. I should add like an identifier here, just so I know which loop this is happening in. Odd. Even. Why is it adding an even here when I is... What? Now R. It's happening at the evens. It's always adding it for some reason. I don't even know why. 0 and -1. R is -1. But this is not working. I don't know why it's triggering it. Oh, I guess... I see. I think now I know why this is plus normally. Yep, okay. We figured it out why we need to make it plus. There you go. This has a time complexity of O(n squared. Since we're checking all the possible substring at a given window, time complexity is 0 since O of 1 because we're not really keeping anything in memory. So yep, pretty sure this is the optimal solution. Dynamic programming, it's just like a this but a bit different. I guess it's more cleaner. Count pally. It's basically the same thing, no? It's just cleaner. I should honestly study up on the dynamic programming approach, but after I did the previous question, this is pretty straightforward. This is like a backwards, no? This is basically the index at the very end, index at the very front. If front and back is the same, and j minus 1 is greater than or equal to 2, or dpi plus 1. J minus 1. It's a 2D dynamic programming array, bro. False? Why false? True. Okay, I'm gonna have to honestly study up on this, but I don't know why I would even bother using this if it's like less efficient. I might revisit this problem in the future, but this is pretty straightforward. This is easier than the previous question, if you ask me. But yeah, this is what I've learned. Why I need to make it plus. Because if I make it minus, it goes to -1, which is technically out of bounds. But it's the right index. So it's still within this range. And this is still valid because SR -1 is like the last index. So we're not doing this and out of bounds. We're doing this, the first index and the last index, skipping the middle one, which is pretty weird. So lesson learned, use positive.